Hello and welcome to episode 14 of the Portadown Preview Show. Before I go any further, don't forget to like and subscribe to the We Are Ports TV YouTube channel, and it can also be checked out on Spotify. Joining us this week, as always, I am joined by Dave Wiggins. Dave is the most biased commentator in Irish League circles. Dave, how are you feeling?
Feeling pretty biased, to be honest. I loved that. You saw that wee tweet. What was that guy called? I meant to give him a shout out.
Johnny McRoberts.
Johnny McRoberts, my biggest fan. I love you. I am the most biased commentator that ever came out of Shamrock Park.
Incredible. There was also another tweet. I need to ask you, why did you not mention the Portadown players' play acting and time wasting in your unbiased commentary? Of course, that was another tweet that you get left for you.
Honestly, like all good managers say, didn't see it, didn't see anything. So
incredible. Joining us this week, we're delighted to be joined by former Portadown defender Mark Carson. Mark, thanks very much for coming on the show. How are you keeping?
Pleasure, lads. All good. All good. Wee bit scared here. Feel like I get myself in trouble. But all good.
Mate, I don't think you get yourself in trouble. But listen, I was talking to somebody 10 minutes ago before we came on here, and they pretty much confirmed Niall Curry loves this podcast. That's all I'm saying. Apparently, he loves to let his players listen to it before they play Portadown. I'm not saying I really don't know where that came from, but you know,
no, yeah,
he loves it. Apparently, he loves it.
Very good. Well, the more people that listen or watch, the better, because obviously, you know, it looks good for us. Right, so it's been a pretty busy week at Portadown, as always, with two games. First up, we played Cliftonville last Saturday night, a 2-1 defeat. But yeah, Ben Tilney scored a good goal, and obviously 2 goals from Ryan Curran. But moving on swiftly, on Tuesday night there.
Absolutely, move on.
Obviously, we got beat last week by Cliftonville on Saturday there, but it was a game we weren't really expected to get anything. Mark, we'll start with yourselves then. 2-1 defeat at home to Cliftonville. Would you have expected anything else, to be honest, considering they're flying?
Probably not. I was following it, and I actually thought when it was 2-0, the goals were sort of quick, soon after each other, weren't they? It was like 20 and 30. I sort of saw that, and I thought, oh no, this could turn out not so great, but then Portadown got a goal at a really good time, and then, you know, by all accounts, there wasn't much in it. So, you know, yeah, it's been a while, probably since Portadown have got something in that solitude, but they certainly didn't go like teams have down there and get, you know, well beat 3, 4, 5, whatever. So, I suppose it's probably the best outcome of it when you go 2-0 down in half an hour.
Yeah, it was. We've struggled against Cliftonville for a long time, but towards the end of the match, I sort of was a little bit disappointed because I thought we maybe would have secured a draw. But, you know, they scored their 2 goals. And listen, they're full of quality, experienced players. And you could see that. They got their goals, and then we got a great goal just before half-time. And you think, oh, flip, back to 2-1 for half-time. It changes things for the team talks and everything. And to be honest, Cliftonville didn't really push on in the second half. And we did all right. I sort of thought, maybe we did enough to get a draw there. But listen, Cliftonville are where they are. They're a long-established team in the Irish League, and they seem to be on the up. And on the form guide, they're right up there. They're in great form at the minute. So for that match, I wasn't overly disappointed. Ben Tilney scored a goal. Nice. He got a real nice connection on it. Pretty sure it was going wide, but we'll give it to him anyway. Wouldn't take it off him, like.
He scored 2 good left-footed goals there in the last couple of weeks. Yeah, no, listen, Cliftonville are absolutely flying at the minute. Both Curran and McCrudden are banging them in at the minute, so I don't think anybody can be too disheartened after getting beat 2-1 by Cliftonville. Not that you want to lose, obviously, but I mean, even going into the 2 games, I think most people had us put down for 0 points. However, that was not the case, as moving on swiftly, Portadown hosted Larne, aka the Christmas champions, on Tuesday night there at Shamrock Park. Dave, you were on comms. You took a bit of a pelting from unhappy Larne supporters for being totally biased. Me personally, I didn't think you were in the slightest. And yeah,
I think they thought I was being biased because I said Tomas Cosgrove dove for a penalty, but literally every single other person said that, including most Larne fans in the Irish League forums. To be fair, they said it was never a penalty. I would go further and say he dived for it. He felt a wee graze on his arm, and he went for it. But justice in the end with Jacob Carney saving the penalty. Do you know what? Never mind the match. To be able to sit for 2 hours with Philip Major and look into his eyes and chat to him was just a wonderful experience. Portdown's most decorated player. There's no getting away from it. 4 league titles and 2 Irish Cups and League Cup, Ulster Cup, Gold Cup. It was just great, and it was just a really enjoyable thing because I know nothing about the technical or tactical part of football. I just love watching it and talking about what's happening in the match. But he's got a world of knowledge, and it was just a really enjoyable night's crack. He kept joking about Jacob Carney's dad was the player of the match sponsor, and they kept going, "Oh, who's the player of the match sponsor again?" Oh, every time Jacob made a save, or "Oh, who's the player of the match?" But in the end, Philly Major actually picked the player of the match, and he gave it to Jacob Carney. Of course, he had to, because he was the player of the match. He was the foundation of the win, if you ask me. And I know the boys fought really, really hard, and Stevie Taggart scored a flipping wonder goal. It was beautiful. It bounced lovely for him. But Devlin had no chance, which was enjoyable as well. Tags just stuck it in the top corner, and it was a super match. It was a super match, and commentary have been really working hard on getting excited for goals. The laid back person that I am. So Philly Major and me were just having a chat, and the next thing the ball bounces in front of Tags and he smashes it into the top corner. But yeah, I think I shouted, "Wonder goal." No, I don't know what I shouted. Screamer. And then quickly realised it was Stephen Taggart. So that was great. But it was really enjoyable. It was a really enjoyable match on Tuesday night. I just, for Larne, full time, big wages, massive wages, the revolution. Just coming down and passing, moving. That's all lovely. But the amount of passes that go sideways and backwards are unreal in that team, and I was nervous. Cosgrove was going up the right a lot, and they were attacking, but without any real, I don't know,
substance.
Yeah, just no substance to attacking in the first half. Second half now, I think they probably had opportunity to score plenty of goals, but they just didn't take those opportunities. It was a header off a post. I think my wee mate Heron headed one off the post. And, there was another couple of opportunities. Jacob made a couple of great saves, one-on-one blocks. And then, of course, 10 minutes to go, on comes the wonder kid. And you're thinking, there's a real good opportunity to get something here. And he did it, didn't he? Lee Bonus. He fought hard. He ran around. He picked up the ball and stuck it past, what do you call Mitchell? Is it the other Larne goalkeeper who came on?
Yeah,
I'm not sure why he came on in the second half. I'm not sure if Connor Devlin injured himself running 30 yards and stumbling and tripping over himself. That was a cracker. That was an absolute. Is there something about Connor Devlin and Portadown? Do you think, Neil, there's a mistake in him there against us, isn't there?
It seems to be. Anytime we've played them, I've always said on this, I think he's a smashing goalkeeper, but he got away with that one, obviously, because unfortunately Ben Guy hit it wide. But I wasn't expecting to see him as charging off the line, and suddenly it was like he scored a goal and was doing the slide celebration, and then what's going on?
There's a better shot of it on the Larne highlights, the Larne FC highlights package. It shows his full run, and he's flying out, and he goes. It's like slow stumble, and then he just falls at Ben Guy's feet. It's as if he's trying to dive and save it or something. But I think he injured himself.
Is that the Larne FC highlights package that conveniently left off Thomas Cosgrove's dive?
No, it was on it, but it definitely didn't show a replay of it.
I've been going back and looking at your tweets, to be honest, coming on this show, and I saw that and laughed. I really laughed.
No,
Mark,
do you know what? I did lose the run of myself on Tuesday night a little bit, but listen, it's football. We're football fans. Why would you not get excited? Why would you not enjoy the win? Absolutely. And I really have to say, when the Larne players were coming off the pitch, they were annoyed. They were wound up. I'll not name names, but one player in particular was saying Portadown are an embarrassment of a club and stuff like that. And I saw a few of them after, and they were rattled. They were really disappointed and annoyed by the late defeat. So it's football. You got to suck it up. You can pass it all you want, but if you don't stick the ball in the back of the net, Mark, what do you do?
Absolutely. I have to be honest. It didn't surprise me the other night, Portadown winning, because of what was it, 2 weeks ago when I was co-commentating. I actually thought only for the wonder goal from Hale, Portadown were very much in the game. They got themselves back into it. Good time to score. And the second half, it was me and Mark, and I actually said the game felt it could have went any way, really. But then Hale obviously was a wonder goal at it. So I
think the longer Larne pass it without scoring a goal, you think all it's going to take here is a couple of mistakes and we're going to get opportunities. And to be fair, Mark Randall, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll mention Arsenal first, former Arsenal player. There you go, lads. And just to get Arsenal out of the way. And he came on and in the second half and played really, really well. I thought he was top quality. He was driving forward. His delivery from corners, of which there were many, were brilliant. But then in the end, it was him that made the mistake, and Lee Bonus poked it in. There was definitely a few innuendos in my commentary for Lee Bonus's goal there, but we'll not go back over.
I think it's brilliant. I think it sums Bonus up completely. It looks like he's out of it. The ball's away at some, and he just head down. He just keeps going. He bowls actually through 2 or 3 people. He just keeps. You're thinking it's a nothing ball, and it shows you one thing I've said about him when I've noticed him, how big he looks.
Yeah.
Once he gets that wee yard of the ball, bang.
Yeah.
Great finish, and
I think
similar to the goal as well against Larne a couple of weeks ago. It's nothing. It's like somebody goes down at the edge of the box for a free kick. Everybody
ref plays on, yeah.
And Bonus those just one thing on his mind.
Wants to score the goal. He loves the scraps. He loves the scraps. But actually, what was really enjoyable about his goal was there was a clear foul on Josh Robinson on the build-up, and that just made it even more special for me because I love that. There's a wee bit of guile involved there. Yeah, players have to be hard and fair, but there's a wee bit there about just maybe gaining a slight advantage, and I love that. In fact, what I always talk about, if you're ever asked what's your favourite David Healy goal for Northern Ireland, we'll forget that he's the Linfield manager for now, but at Windsor Park against Spain, he scored a hat-trick, and the second and third goal were wonder goals, but you see the first goal, he just gives Puyol this sneaky wee push, knocks him off balance before he flicks it in, and that's class. That shows just a wee bit of guile in the box, and I love that.
But here, you're saying there about there was a bit of a foul in the lead up to that goal. There was a clear foul in Larne's goal. Do you know what I mean? It was our defender.
I remember the goal.
Josh Robinson.
Yes. Adam McCallum was fouled for that, surely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
And it was never a penalty. I mean, I said on the show...
it was a penalty. The referee gave it, Nick. No. It's the referee's whistle. It's the referee's whistle that counts,
I know, but I said on the last show we done that I know a few that have went against us were definitely not penalties, but we have been giving away far too many penalties this season. But I thought the one against Larne now was ridiculously harsh, and it was just justice, as you say, when Jacob saved it. But no, I'll be completely honest. I was absolutely buzzing on Tuesday night. I was so thrilled. I said again last week on the show, Larne will have so much possession. Yes, they did have a few chances, obviously. They have so much possession, but they always shoot themselves in the foot every time. Against us.
Mark, obviously, neither of us play football to any decent standard. I know Neil plays a few charity matches and things with the big boys. If you're watching Michael Galt, I don't know. But is there a case for, can you overplay the ball? You see, modern football, it's very much pass. can you be overpassing it so much that you're more likely to make a mistake?
You possibly can. The biggest thing I've thought in now, obviously, again, playing against Larne is it almost lets you as a team, just as Portadown, be organised. Just be organised, as you say, side to side. Just be organised and believe that then you're always going to get a chance. And the last time I watched Portadown against Larne, I talked about it. I think Sally got man of the match that day. Sally was super, actually, defensively, and same on the other side. That can't remember who it was that day. It was Rory Crossgreen maybe played on the other side.
I think so, yeah.
I think it more gives you a chance to actually just sit, be organised. Whereas you come to a team where they're just, it's down your throat, You're thinking, how long is this going to go on for? You've almost got a wee bit of, okay, sit in, let them have it. And as Portadown have proven, they'll force a mistake and you'll get a chance. And I think as long as you believe that and that's drilled into you, well then it's, you can enjoy playing against it.
I wonder has it changed the mindset a wee bit, because obviously we hadn't beaten one of the top 6 teams before this season. Glenavon aren't top 6, are they? No,
but they can still sneak in there.
Just behind Crusader.
Hopefully not. But so I suppose, listen, the manager made 7 changes on Tuesday night. And we can call them fringe players. I don't think they're fringe players. They're just players who are great quality, but they maybe just haven't played as often as some of the other players. Because at the end of the day, you can only start 11 players, as difficult as that is for boys who find themselves on the bench. But it was definitely with one eye on Warrenpoint this Saturday and with one eye on the Irish Cup on Tuesday night. So it almost felt like a wee bonus 3 points, didn't it? Because we were thinking if we can go to Warrenpoint and beat them, then we can get into 9th place. But actually, there we are. We've beaten Larne. We've got the 3 points. We're sitting in 9th place already. You can go to Warrenpoint, potentially beat them, and pull 3 points ahead and give yourself a little bit of cushion room there. So it was delightful. But I wonder, does it change the mindset of, now that we've beaten a top 6 team, I think we can beat any team in the league, and we've run other teams close. Now, we don't have as much quality as Linfield or Coleraine. Some of these players, you've got really long-term established Irish League players in there. But beating Larne at home, drawing with them at Inver, going close against a couple of other teams, I think we can beat any team on our day now. I really do. And that gives us real hope going forward, and especially for next season as well. So I hope the mindset is now, yes, we need to be looking to beat Carrick and Dungannon and Warrenpoint all around us, but I think we should be setting up to win 3 points now every single match we go and play, really.
Yeah.
That's my motivational speech of the day.
No, listen, I would agree with you, but I know you've always said on this show, you've joked, we play better against better teams, and it was actually nice that after putting in such a good performance that they did get the 3 points. I think we did ride our luck at times against Larne there, and I'm not going to deny that, but it was really fulfilling. And you're saying there about players maybe haven't been playing as much recently. There's another player I'd like to mention, because I know obviously Lee Bonus gets a lot of plaudits, as does Jacob Carney, but and Greg Hall, but a player that I think has sort of went under the radar the last couple of months. He's broke into the team, it's took him a while, and he's been excellent, is Nathan Kerr. I think he has done really, really well in recent weeks. So give him a shout out, because it took him a while. I know he's had a serious injury before and stuff. It's took him a while to get going, but he's got going now and he's looking good.
Well, when you think about what he's done, we all love Greg Hall. Me anyway. We always say, love him. So I would always have 11 Greg Halls in the team, but there's Greg. He cemented the right back position for a long time, and he was out and he's back in, and Nathan has held on to that number. Well, I was going to say number 2 spot, but it's not old-fashioned football. He's held on to that right back position, so much so that last week Greg played left back and he's played centre back at times as well. So that's a nice wee battle there and fair play to Nathan, as you say. I think he's really established himself in the starting 11 now, and he's doing really well.
Yeah.
Just a shame it wasn't a packed out Shamrock the other night, what?
Oh, man.
For both goals.
Full time. The place would have been when Lee Bonus. Well, never mind. So Stephen Taggart's goal was early enough, and it was a cracker. But to score that 92nd minute winner, like the place would have been just
unbelievable.
It would have been like the old shed. The boys would have just been running for the fence, like.
Nuts.
Maybe it might have felt like a wee goal against Glenavon on Boxing Day, Mark.
Yeah, they're big goals. Quite possible.
Do you know what? Listen, obviously, Mark, you were like well loved around Shamrock Park and a great character, and everybody talks about you fondly. But I'll always think about that goal against Glenavon on Boxing Day.
You'll never take it from me.
Never take it away from me. Even though it was 2-2, we got the 3 points in the end as well, didn't we?
Did we?
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, we ended up. That's right.
And I think you picked up an injury that day, didn't you? That kept you.
That was the turning point.
Yeah, but still, Boxing Day goal.
Oh, mate, happy enough to go out and that. Tell you the truth.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Neil, what's your best moment in football when Michael Galt studded you in the back?
It's a claim to fame fan or favorite moment in football. This is a random one. I always like you talk about big games over the years and stuff, but from a Portadown perspective, I think I said it before, one of the games I always remember is we beat the Glens 4-3 at Shamrock Park, and Keith O'Hara scored a last minute winner. We were 3-1 down and came back and won 4-3. It's always a game that sticks in my head. Yeah. Love that. And Glentoran went on to win the league anyway, but we won the cup, so
yeah.
Against Larne.
I know. Yeah. Do you know what? No, I'm not going to bang on about Larne anymore. We'll just let it go. But I don't think any team listen, Larne have a long way to go. Basically, winning the County Antrim Shield isn't all it's cracked up to be, really. And when you start winning a cup or you win a league, then you can start shouting, as far as I'm concerned. But respect works both ways. You were mentioning Nathan Kerr there as an individual player, but great news that Paul Finnegan got a 3-year extension to his contract because he has been doing really, really well there. Him and Adam together, and it's great to get him tied down for 3 years. He's still quite young, Paul, isn't he?
Yeah, what is he, 23, 24?
I think so, yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
So that was a great bit of news on Tuesday night as well.
No, it's listen, it's good to get the business done early doors. I mean, there's still plenty of games to play, and I know you mentioned Warrenpoint already. That's who's up next on Saturday here. Mark, you've had a spell at Warrenpoint as well. What do you make of their season so far? And should Portadown be going there thinking we can definitely get 3 points? I think they're in for a hard afternoon.
Do you know what? I've been surprised of recent. They're not a great run at the minute. They've lost a lot of games that have surprised me, to be honest, because I was there up at sort of the end of January, and the place, the players, everything, very good squad and deserving of some really good results this year. Beating Linfield at home, going to the Oval and drawn, and I think we drew against Larne as well, and they've been very deserving. So the recent run, they're in a bad run of form. I think going in that now, the tide probably turns to Portadown. It always is. They're in a good run. They've just beat Larne off the back of that. But also, I think it's going to be massive for Warrenpoint off the back of the run they're on. I think it's going to be crucial that Anna now has Portadown just went above them. Is that right? In league, yeah. So it probably becomes a bigger game now, definitely for Warrenpoint, as you were just saying there. Whereas Portadown can go into it off the back of if you want to call it that, bonus 3 points during the week. Bonus, get it? Bonus points during the week. But they'll go into with confidence, but it'll not change Tippy's perspective on it. It'll still be massive and as important. But I've been disappointed of the results.
When you look at the form guide, Portadown have got 9 points in 5 matches, and Warrenpoint have got 1 point in their last 5 matches. So they've really,
flip that to probably before Christmas.
They were flying,
completely different. It is.
And ironically, the away match at Warrenpoint earlier on was, I think, probably the only away match our supporters have been at. So flip, that's a wee trip that we would love to be going to.
Yeah, it'd be a nice one.
The draw Stephen Murray scored in that game. I was at that. And then I thought that feels like a flipping lifetime ago. It's November, and it feels so long ago. Get the fans back.
What, Mark?
Big incident late on. I remember, was it Oisin Kennedy was clean through the winner?
Gavin Pearce gets sent off.
Pearce does, but I tell you what, if he didn't,
Oh,
I think
he saved 2 points.
Yeah.
He did he not break his hand when he went down when that happened, or he broke his finger or something?
Done something, could be right.
I think he
Wanker's
went.
cramp, maybe.
So,
I'm pretty sure something happened on when he made that tackle. I remember him holding his hand. But it's funny, like, whenever we played Warrenpoint at Shamrock there a couple of months ago, and Warrenpoint got a brilliant result. We should have been out of sight.
I remember
in the first half. I was down that day doing stadium announcer, and Gavin Pearce actually standing up at the back as well, and he was chatting away the whole game, and like, he was chatting away about Warrenpoint and saying how well they were doing at that stage, and they were, like, and I think on their day they couldn't do anyone.
Do you watch The Office, Neil?
No.
All right, you won't get this then. You were saying about you were down being stadium announcer when Stevie Wright wasn't available, but obviously you're assistant to the stadium announcer. That's an Office joke for anybody who likes The Office. You can look that up. Neil, tell us about your wee top there. There's definitely a wee nip showing again. It must be an old one.
It is. It's 2012-13 away shirt. It's the first season we went back to Old Sport because we were night the season before that. But I actually like this shirt. But the only thing is they're very tight fit.
See that? We can all see that.
I know.
Finished second that season?
No, we finished second in 11-12, and then 12-13 we actually missed out in the top six and finished seventh that season because Ballymena finished in the top six that year, I do believe. They went on a great run and pipped us, but it's mad even thinking of this. It's 8 years ago now, that this shirt was last worn, but
do you know what? It feels long. That feels longer, but that feels a longer time ago for me. I know I'm older than you boys, like, but
mad how time flies.
Lovely top though, great top.
Yeah,
I do like this one. I was picking. I was like, should have picked the home one or the away one today. I had both of them knocking about here, and I thought, no, I'll go for the away one. I like the design or like the color of it. So
see, when you try to, the way when our partners are trying to dress on, they're like, how does this look at me? When you get all your ported down tops on, do you ask your partner how, what's this looking like? Do my boobs look big in this? Or
do you know what? I actually went out the back there earlier on, and I said to Kirsty, I was like, which one should I go for? And I lifted out this one, I lifted out the home one, and I lifted out the home one from the next season, 13-14. I was like, which one do you think? I quite like this one. And she was like, yeah, that is a nice one. Go for that one. I was like, cheers, love.
There you go. Shout out to Kirsty.
Here, at least she hasn't interrupted me this week. Well, not yet anyway.
No. But listen, I think Warrenpoint on Saturday, I think, on the form, I think we should be coming home with 3 points. I'd settle for a draw, but I'd be really happy with 3 points. I think it's very achievable. Like, start the same 11 as well. Give them a go.
Yeah. No, listen here. If Portadown can go in on Saturday and come out of that, even like obviously you want the win, but if they come out of that game and are still in 9th place going into the split, where you still have, and no disrespect to anyone, obviously, you still have Carrick, Dungannon, and Warrenpoint all to play at Shamrock.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a good place there to maybe be in the shout for finishing 9th. But
I wonder how far we are off from being guaranteed not finishing bottom. Anybody know? Yeah. I don't know. We'll do that, Maz, for the next one.
Well, we're 7 points clear of Carrick, I think. I'm right in saying that. And then our Dungannon not a point behind them.
Right, okay.
I think we'd need to get another 3 or 4 games out of the way. Like, so it'd be great to say you finished 9th this season. But yeah, Warrenpoint will be a hard game on Saturday here. But fingers crossed. Looking forward again, next Tuesday night, Portadown will start their quest to win. I was going to say to get the Windsor for the Irish Cup final. It's not at Windsor this year. It's at Mornview Park.
I think that's a wee omen for us. I'd love a wee cup final at Mornview Park.
Yeah, and then we play away to Ballymena, which arguably is probably one of the toughest draws you could have got. Yeah. Mark, what do you rate at Portadown's chances? What do you think? It's a hard place to go, Ballymena.
Of course it is, yeah, and they've had a decent enough season, Ballymena, but sometimes you don't really know what you're going to get with them. And the old saying, it's the Irish Cup, anything can happen. I think Portadown have went there and done reasonably well. Like of late, I remember it was the last time I heard Luke Wilson score a good goal. Maybe it was a 2-1 or somebody set Luke Wilson up for a great finish. I remember.
Yeah, we got beat, but we give away a dopey penalty.
Yes, that's the one. Well, you only beat like 2-1 or something though.
Yeah.
It was tight.
Did we play at Ballymena in the 5th round of the Irish Cup last year too?
Great question.
Do you remember we went down there and got beat 4-1 one Monday night?
We got beat by Glentoranshire on penalties last season.
It must have been the year before then.
I think
it might have been the League Cup. I don't know.
It was a midweek match, and it was absolutely freezing. I remember that. Yep, you're right.
I think as much as you think it's going to be a hard draw, the flip side of it will be Ballymena wouldn't be looking forward to Portadown either, like, and especially off now going into it with a wee bit of if you beat Warrenpoint, you're going into it, on a really good run, and it certainly won't be a comfortable one for them either.
I think you're right, and you know what I keep thinking about is if you can sneak past Ballymena, there's plenty of lower league, no disrespect to them, but there's plenty of smaller clubs have got buys into the next round. So if you could sneak past Ballymena, you win one more match, all of a sudden you're in the quarterfinal.
Okay.
There's potential. Why not?
Is it going to be really, how short is the Irish Cup this season? Like how?
It starts on Tuesday night and finishes right at the end of May.
Well, so really the month of May.
Yeah.
What, Mark? What do you think of the Irish Cup? It's been a bit of a fiasco, to be perfectly honest. Obviously, a lot of championship teams have withdrawn, because they felt that they've been treated harshly by FA, who didn't back them, to get elite status and stuff. And I can empathise with them. I think it was very harsh. But what do you make of it all?
100%. I get all that too, like, and I read enough. But I think at the end of the day, I think you got to just be delighted that they're getting some degree of football. They've been able to get a run of pre-season games here. Well, pre-season effectively, 4 or 5 games, whatever. Seeing clubs are back in playing, and yes, they've been harshly treated, and yes, things have been a mess. But I think it's a big plus for everyone. It's a big sort of like we're turning the corner. We're getting there. They're back playing. They're getting the Irish Cup. They're going to get games. Yes, they're not going to be the situation where other teams haven't had a full season over them or whatnot. But there's a degree of it where I'm just like, you know what? If you're a proper football fan or proper football person, I think being able to now get ready for an Irish Cup after what we've been through this past year can only be a good thing.
Yeah, when you think of the Annie United players, like an opportunity for most of them who've probably never played at Windsor Park, I sort of thought with them, I don't know what way the money's working. Like, there's obviously not going to be a split gate or anything, which is always a draw for a smaller team. But they wanted to go back and train and get tested and work hard. And it might just be for one match and then a couple of months off again. But it's what they've wanted to do. I know some of those championship teams are playing little mini tournaments between themselves and practice matches and things like that. So, listen, everybody just wants to play football. I don't care. Carsey, we were talking about a couple of players before we come on who are maybe still quite young to be finishing up their football careers. And I always think when people get to 40, 41 and they're slowing and they've sore backs and sore knees, all they want to be doing is kicking a ball again, because there's nothing like it.
No, and that's what I say. In the past, anybody that just, loves football and is in it for football, if I was part of a team that were saying no to the Irish Cup and giving me another 3, 4, 5 months of doing nothing, part of me would be like, are you serious? You know what I mean? You'd want to get back playing. So I think all in all, it's a good thing. Like, yes, not keep everybody happy, but football's back, and we'll get a degree of when the Irish Cup starts here, there's going to be, and you're checking results, and there's maybe a shock or an upset in it. Mm-hmm. Part of that's a bit of us have got football back, or it's coming back.
Yeah. Neil, time check, 7 minutes.
Yeah, don't worry, Mark. I'm going to put you on the spot here. Who would you think is going to win the Irish Cup this season? Who would be your favourites right now?
Coleraine.
Sorry.
Okay.
Oof.
Okay.
Didn't fire the obvious, maybe Lymph, but I feel like Coleraine have had a really good season, a really good squad. I think Coleraine could be a season.
I was talking to Michael Clark, and we were chatting about it.
Football friends. Ooh,
football friend. And it's obviously.
I want to commentate with him. Love to sit with him and commentate.
Yeah, no worries. I'll forward his number on to you.
Carsey, you've no chance. We're all looking at gig, like.
Yeah, no, we're knocking on the door, but I thought I'd get it in there when I
can. We were chatting after the game last week, Portadown Cliftonville, and I was saying if Cliftonville played their cards right, they could be a real shout in that competition here. Listen, I'm going to sit here and be like Portadown. Well, I could see Cliftonville get the fire and get beat. That's what they usually do.
Yeah, that's more like it. The Cliftonville have no form in the Irish Cup whatsoever.
I think I would absolutely love Portadown to go on a cup run, and I would love it as well if we get past Ballymena, go on a bit of a run, and the fans are back on the ground, even for a couple of rounds or something. Be absolutely brilliant because everyone's buzzing to get back.
Even for one big match, and do you know what? We're all talking about, and Tippy has said it in the papers. At the end of the day, here hairdressers are open, beer gardens are open, and cafes, restaurants are open. You're sitting in a football stadium. You're outside. You're with your family members. You're with your friends. I wouldn't even be just saying we should have 500 in the stadium. I'd be saying open the doors and let people in. Do your mask if you want. If you want to sit separately from people, do it. But you got to have home and away fans in stadiums. That's what football is all about. We're heading into the summer here. The weather's good. It's not flu season. Numbers are down. Let's get fans back in stadiums, Niffle. And I think what their biggest issue is not getting people into stadiums. I think their biggest issue is people traveling to stadiums. That's what I've been told, which is ridiculous because we're all going to Portrush and Newcastle, and at every opportunity we're going to the mountains or we're going here and there. So yes, get home fans back, but let's get some away fans back in as well.
Yep, well said. That leads us on to another.
Can I just say Irish Cup? I fancy the Glens for the Irish Cup this year.
Well, they always do well in the Irish Cup.
Yeah, but I would love to see us just getting through a couple of rounds. I think it'd be really good. And you've got me excited there, Neil, talking about fans maybe in for a quarter final or something like that in a big match. It would be brilliant.
I think, you touched on, Dave, there a wee bit just about Larne, the belief now Portadown and maybe have with beating a top 6 team or beating a, could stand in good stead, could come at a good time here going into the likes of Ballymena too, if there is that wee bit of belief now.
Yeah.
They said, what, on our day, if we sit in, win games.
I think as well, listen, if you go on the betting odds, Portadown would be probably 10th favourites to win it, and but could you imagine, if Portadown were to say do it and they got into Europe or something, it'd be unbelievable. I'm not getting carried away here. I'm just saying.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
I think you are. Just a wee.
Well, do you know what? It could happen.
No, I know. I'm not going to sit here and say we will win the Irish Cup, but I think it'll be absolutely brilliant. And it's great that it's back because I love cup football. As you say, Mark, anything can happen. You're like me, you're an Arsenal man. How many times have you won the cup?
40 minutes. It took you 40 minutes to mention Arsenal. Unbelievable.
We've talked about him and he's a bonus, you know what I mean? You stay in a game long enough, I tell you what.
Yep.
I know exactly. On the team needing a goal later on or needing something to fall them. So, yeah, could be over winners, but who knows?
No, well, listen, cup football, anything can happen. There's always an underdog story somewhere, within the competition. So, fingers crossed. Dave, chatting about getting fans back. Obviously, the Irish Cup is going to run until the end of May, start of June. There's all this talk at the minute about summer football. What pros and cons? What would you think?
There's two options they're talking about. There's the one that they want to start in. Isn't there one they want to kick it off early, run May through to finishing in February? Isn't there one like that where they want to start earlier, maybe May or June, and run it to February so we can keep the Boxing Day games? And then the other option is what they do in the League of Ireland is to start halfway through February and finish at the start of November. That's the option I would love, to be perfectly honest, because the other one to try and keep Boxing Day in play, it's crap. It's not summer football. You may as well keep it the way it is because you know what the weather's like in February. Every single year you've got snow, frost, torrential rain, strong winds. That's not enjoyable for football,
That that's April. That's this month. That's happened all in the one day.
But it's been generally okay. But every February when you look, you've got a real mixed bag of weather. For me, if they're going to change it, and I would happily change it, to be perfectly honest, I would be starting towards the end of February and running right through the summer until just into maybe early November, halfway through November. Forget about Boxing Day. Play your big derby match on the 11th night in July. Wouldn't that be great?
Wow.
That'd be brilliant. Play the match, go to the bonfire, have a good celebration for 2 or 3 days.
Day, Dave. You can't lose.
No,
I think you
see,
can.
I Boxing Day is traditional, but this is the thing with football fans. They don't like change, right? But I think if you picked a date, like a public holiday, like, I don't know, for example, May Day, right? And it's obviously not the weekend, but you picked a certain date and said every year, if they change it to that on the calendar every year, it's going to be on this weekend. This is the bank holiday weekend. You pick it, and that
Derby Day. This is Derby Day.
Derby Day. It could work, and then obviously this leads me into another thing. You know, obviously people have missed the football that much. A lot of people have been watching the streams. BBC have obviously had loads of games on, which has been great. Sky have had a few games as well. And loads of people have been tuning in because they haven't been able to go to games, you know, whether that be people that go over to watch Premier League or the Scottish League regularly. A lot of people have been tuning into the Irish League games. And it makes you think, you know, would more people come? You know, everyone's buzzing to get back. Hopefully there's a spike in the crowds. Would more people be inclined to go in the summer? Because as Dave said, the weather is horrendous in November, December, January time over here. Let's not beat around the bush, like, it's woeful. So would let's say for example, a mother and father, and they've got 2 kids, and they'll go, oh, what are you going to do? They've nothing to do Friday. Oh, why don't we go down and watch an Irish League match on the Friday? It's the summer's night, and they're playing the Friday night, and it's, you know, really good weather and stuff. Would that tempt more people to go? I think it actually would. You've
hit the nail on the head. The Friday night thing's important as well. The Friday night thing's important because you could go to the football and then you still have your full weekend in the summer, you know. I know I don't bring my kids to the football. I look outside, and if I know it's going to be the sort of day where by halftime the kids are miserable, too cold, want to go home, I'm not bringing them. But if it's a summer's night, they're running about with their mates, you know, you don't have to worry about them. The sun's shining a lot of the time. I just think it'd be great.
Well, it's a debate that's going to rage on and on. I'm going to touch on one more thing here when we're talking about potentially getting more fans into the grounds down the line. Do you think this whole European Super League thing, Mark, could have a decent effect on the Irish League? Because a lot of people were sort of very disappointed, you know, with their club, you know, because, you know, over here, a lot of people support Man United and Liverpool especially. A lot of people are very, very angry about what's happened. They're saying they're not going back. Do you think that sort of talk could help benefit the Irish League? People like, well, screw going over to watch the Premier League. I'm going to go and watch my local team, whether it be Portadown, Linfield, Carrick, Larne, Glentoran, whoever.
No, definitely. I think it will. I think it will play a part, along with a lot of other things. I've actually felt this year almost that the football has been took away from people and from us all, that I actually think there's a wee bit of, when it does start back, people will want to go, you know, back to games and back to grounds and get a sense of normality. And, you know, so, and I think then, yeah, with everything that's happened, I watched a video there the other night. Was working for the BBC at Shamrock. Is it Philly? You call him
Phil McCullough?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you see the video? He put a actually really interesting video. He put up. He's like, I'm a massive, he's a Liverpool fan or whatever, but he wished he had the sort of the passion that Irish League fans have. You know, he wished he had a real passion and a love for a hometown club. Unfortunately, he doesn't. He's, you know, it's England. It's, you know, another club where he can't go to every day. So I would say there's put a lot of thoughts into that. You know, when you see that's going on, and then, you know, like, so if you come back home and you see that the places are going to be, you know, rammed and people are going to be back in the clubs, it can have an effect, like a good effect.
There's that great image that I love that says football is not a TV show. And listen, I live in Portadown, grew up here, love Portadown. Portadown Football Club represents Portadown community for me, and to go along with your friends and family and others who don't live here but support Portadown, because maybe their dad did or their grandfather or whatever. There's nothing like being there, smelling smoke, smelling chips, seeing Isle boys shouting things at the referee. It's class. And I think you're right. People have had enough of watching football on TV this year. I think people will want to get out and watch matches. And I saw a tweet, actually, Stephen Blevins, who's well known around Portadown. He's a Portadown supporter, would have played for, I think, the reserves back in the day. But he wouldn't maybe be at Shamrock Park too often in the last number of years, and he's a big United fan. But I saw him even saying, it's given me the urge to really come back and support my local team. And I don't know if there'll be a massive jump, but there'll be a number of people who want to come back and see a ball kicked in the flesh and just have conversations with people in a casual way again.
I also think, I think Tipton maybe said it too. It was all going on last week, and then you had Portadown win it last minute against Larne. And I think there was a sense of that went across everybody that, what has just happened at Shamrock tonight is massive. And imagine actually being there, and results like that is certainly something that's going to bring a lot of people back to it and bring interest to it,
Neil, I got to go. I got to bring my wee fella to a football match here.
Oh, okay. Cut me off. Cheers.
No, I'm just giving you it.
I'm only joking. Listen, though, but I plan to finish it on that there. So, no, I agree with what you said. I have a few friends that they go to the occasional. They'll come to the occasional Irish League game, obviously with Portadown, but they're not Irish League fans at all. But even they were like, "Oh, I think we'll come. We can't wait to get this football game. We'll come down to a few Portadown games." Now it's like, good lads. That's what I want to hear. So
at the end of the day, you can watch a match at Shamrock Park and you can go and have a chat with Lee Bonus after the final whistle, or you can see the opposition players when they're leaving the stadium and give them an aisle wink or an aisle nudge or whatever and send them packing. So it's that getting close to the. Getting close to the players, and you have a relationship with the players at the end of the day. Some of them are local, some of them are from 20 miles around, and there's absolutely nothing like supporting your hometown team. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed we get the fans back soon, and numbers are bustling and everything's good and Portadown are winning games week in, week out. But on that cheery note, we'll wrap things up. First of all, Mark, thanks very much for coming on the show. It's been great.
Thanks, lads. Brilliant.
Great to see you, Mark.
Thank you.
Dave, thank you very much as always. And fingers crossed for a win against Warrenpoint and a win against Ballymena United next Tuesday. Cheers.
Here, Neil, thank you very much as well.
Yes, Neil, thank you. And when somebody asked Mark Beattie, does he look at me co-commentating the way Dave looks at Phil Major? Because that was breathtaking. That was really good.
You were drunk on Philip Major the other night.